Here and see.
Everybody here? Out there?
Oh.
Yes.
I guess somebody just responded. Yeah.
No. Can you hear? Can everybody hear out there? Whoever's out there? Did you put the mic on?
Yeah. If you click on the little down arrow next to the mic, click on the down arrow, and then if you talk, see you can see. I would.
Okay, she can hear
say,
fine.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good. Okay.
We're at someone else's house tonight, so we're making sure that it's all good. Okay, so let's begin. Let's begin with learning Torah Memches, Tinyana Memches. Clicking around. Okay, we'll have to start copying. We'll have to make copies from now on. Okay, so let's start. Beautiful Torah. So it says Rav Nachman, Kishe'adam nichnas b'avodas Hashem. When a person enters into avodas Hashem, azai haderech shemar lo hisrachakus. The way that he's going, it appears to him, they show him that he's very far. So before we even get to the full line, we have to start at the beginning of the line. The line again says, Kishe'adam nichnas b'avodas Hashem. What does that mean? What does Rav Nachman mean? The person enters into avodas Hashem. I daven 3 times a day. I learn. I do chesed. So does that mean every day I'm entering into avodas Hashem? What does it mean? Kishe'adam nichnas b'avodas Hashem. What does that mean? So right now we're holding by the month of Adar. So everybody knows Misha nichnas Adar, Marvin b'simcha. When Adar comes in, Misha nichnas Adar, and when Adar comes in, Marvin b'simcha, we start to increase our simcha. So my Rebbe, Rav Moshe Weinberger, every year he tells us from Chidush Harim, Ger Rebbe. So he says, what does it mean Misha nichnas Adar? Does it mean that when Adar comes in, everything's happy? Oh, Rosh Chodesh Adar, so I'm so b'simcha? That's not true. Just because Adar comes in doesn't mean people are b'simcha. So he says, what does the Ger Rebbe say? He says that Misha nichnas Adar, when Adar enters into you, Misha nichnas Adar, into your heart, when Adar enters into the person, into myself, that's when I'm marvin b'simcha. So we have to understand what Nachman's telling us, Kishe'adam nichnas b'avodas Hashem. When a person enters into avodas Hashem, there's 2 ways to enter in. There's what we'll call entering in with my head, and there's entering in with my heart. When a person goes and he's taught to daven, and he davens 3 times a day, when a person goes to school and he learns, so he's doing what he's told, whenever he's entering in with his head, with his mind, which is a very nice thing. However, that's not the higher level. The higher level is when a person enters into avodas Hashem with his heart, when he has a desire to be an Avodah Hashem. Not everybody has a desire to be an Avodah Hashem. Because when a person goes when he's younger and he's taught by his parents, or he's taught by school, so he's told what to do. No one ever asked him, do you want to learn? Do you want to be a Yid? That question is never asked. But that's a problem, because then a person never chooses to be doing the avodas Hashem that he's doing. And if you don't choose, if you're not making that choice, then in a certain way you have not entered into avodas Hashem. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah? When we're Avram Avinu, the first of the Avos, we can't even possible to talk about him. But something happened then when he found God that we have to be careful. What do I mean, be careful? Ever since Avram Avinu found the Rebbeinu Shalom and then passed it on to Yitzchak and then to Yaakov, so every single person is born into, if you're a Yid, you're born into Amunus Hashem. You believe in God because your parents teach you, your teachers teach you. That's how you're born into this world. However, Avram Avinu was not born into the world with God. He had to kill himself. He had to be Moser Nefesh. Many years of seeking and searching with a Ratzon to find God. That's why he became Avram Avinu. That is who Avram Avinu was. And that's why he was the first of the Avos, because he worked so hard to find God. But if we are born into it, and we're missing one of the most important components to Avodas Hashem. is that we have been looking for. If it's handed to you on a silver platter, it's nothing compared to when a person enters by his own choice, by his own ratzon, into Avodas Hashem. That's what the Nachman says, Kishadam nichnas b'Avodas Hashem. When a person decides that this is it, I want to enter in. I might have been davening for 65 years. I might have been learning for 65 years. But I never decided that this is what I want to do. So when a person decides, however old he is, he could be 13, he could be 20, he could be 60, he could be 80, but he decides my whole life I've been doing it with my head. And now I want to enter into Avodas Hashem with my heart. I want to put everything into it. I want to have Avas Hashem. I want to Dveikus Hashem through all the mitzvahs, through all the Torah. So when a person does that, and now he's finally starting his life as an Eved Hashem. Now the path, says Rabbi Nachman, it's a very interesting thing. One would think that when you decide to enter into Avodas Hashem, so you worked hard to build a ratzon, a desire to enter in, so Hashem should open up the doors. Wow, little Gidula, David, Yaakov, Shmuley, I've been waiting for you my whole life, says Rabbi Nachman. And he should open up the doors for us, and learning should be easy, davening should be easy, everything should be easy, because I finally decided that I want to enter in. So I would think that Hashem would open up the doors. I mean, everything should be easy. So that's not the case. Shemar mos rachakus. It appears as though he's very, very far. The second he decides to enter in, sometimes it's the furthest he feels from God. It's chiddush. It's similar to when Adam Rishon, he had his sin, and he was kicked out. He's kicked out of Gan Eden. So what did Kadosh Baruch Hu put to guard the derech Eitz Chaim? Adam Rishon was not allowed to get to the Eitz Chaim. He ate from the Eitz Das. He made a mistake, and now Hashem didn't want him to get to the Eitz Chaim, the derech, the way of the Eitz Chaim, this derech. So what did he put there? A cherev hamisapeches. It says the Pasuk is a sword, a fiery sword that was turning and turning and turning, blocking him from entering. But that was the trick, as we'll see in a second. That was a trick. It looked like it wanted him to stay away. But really, the Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted him to come in. So it says Rabbi Nachman, it appears to this person that he's being pushed away from above, that Hashem is pushing him away, that Hashem doesn't want his avodas Hashem. And that he's not being allowed to enter in. He wants to enter in, and it seems as though the doors are closed in front of him. He's not allowed in. That's what it seems like to him. Now, we discussed this, and I don't know if it was how many shiurim ago, I think it was one of the first ones. The nidmeh is a very important concept that we're not going to say. It appears to the person, which means it's not correct. It's my perception, which is not God's perception, as we'll see in a second. Based on our lack of emunah, based on our lack of understanding God's ways, which Baruch Hashem Rabbi Nachman opens up for us. We don't understand the process, the system, so that it appears to me that God doesn't want me to enter in, which is not correct. It appears to me. That's no one's a Rasha, I always say, no one's a Rasha, but when the person says, it appears to me, there's a little bit of gaiva. Not a bad gaiva, but this is my opinion on the matter. Yeah. Once you start stating your opinion, you're vulnerable for mistakes, because is that God's opinion? And when a person thinks that he knows, he then blocks the emes from coming into his head, because I think I know. So once I think I know, then now I'm not going to let anything else in. And that could be a big problem. It seems very harmless, but it appears to me, it seems like a very harmless statement. It appears to me this is so. But that harmless little statement could make a blockage of Hashem trying to send me messages. Like, for instance, here. It appears to this person, it appears to me, it seems to me that Hashem's pushing me away. I want to enter into Avodas Hashem, and it seems like Hashem's pushing me away. And it seems like he's not allowing me to enter in to the place that I want to get to. The emes is, not the nidmelo. The emes is, if God would be able to tell you what he's thinking, Kolos rachakus, all that I'm pushing you away, hurakulo hiskarvus. Every second you think Hashem's pushing you away, the emissary is drawing you closer. That cherev that was turning, that was keeping other mission away, if you just switch around the letters, ches, reish, beis, which is cherev, if you just switch around the letters a little bit, ches, beis, reish, it means chaver, friend, or chibur. So that sword that you thought was keeping you away, that was fighting against you, is actually your friend. And I'll tell you another gemash, another remes. The word rachok, if we spell it reish ches kuf, reish ches and a kuf, that's the gematria. Reish is 200, ches is 8, kuf is 100, that's 308. And the word karov, kuf, reish, vav, beis is also 308. So that which you think is rachok, which is pushing you further away, is actually bringing you closer. Right?
Yeah, it's interesting to know that because the Lord says the three things that father teach a child when he's swimming. So when you look at that process, so when the child gets himself on leg and jumps into the water, what do most parents do to teach the kids to remove that? So you think the child will think what they're jumping in, and the father moves back. But through that moving back, that brings them closer together because through that act of him teaching the son how to swim, the son eventually is able to follow.
Right.
So it's that.
But Nachman says this marshal walking, teaching the child how to walk. I believe he gives that marshal that we just said. Just slowly and then you move exactly to marshal.
So the question that we have to ask, we believe Rabbi Nachman, everything Rabbi Nachman says is emes lamito, no one argues. We don't know. But what's the pshat? How do we understand? Why is it that the second I want to enter into Avodah Hashem in a real way, that's the very time where I feel the first. And then in a certain way, he is pushing me away. But not to push me away, really, to draw me close. But Hashem does actions, or he makes it feel or appear to me that he's pushing me away. It's all the scars, but why is this the path? Why is this the way?
As opposed to what you just happened to.
Just open up the doors and let me enter in. I want to daven, so Hashem, let me daven with a clear head. I want to learn, so let me just understand Gemara Shadosas. I want to do chesed and tzedakah, so why don't you just give me $1 million, Hashem, so I could just give $1 million to tzedakah? Why even as easy as that? So Baruch Hashem, I was thinking about something and I was able to find it in a different Torah of Nachman. It's exactly what we're talking about. Torah Samech Vov. I'm sorry that I didn't tell anybody beforehand. It was a surprise to me today. So I'm going to read it. I'll read it slowly and I'll translate. It says Rabbi Nachman, Ki efshar lasos shum dover ki ma'idei. A person cannot do anything in this world without a cheshek, a desire to do it. The Hainu says a very simple mashal. Kishemedaber is a dibur. When a person wants to speak, before I speak, I have to want to speak. Very simple. If I don't want to speak, I'm not going to speak. If I am speaking, it means that I want to speak. Very simple. When a person does any action, if a person doesn't have a desire, a cheshek beforehand to do this action, he's not going to do it. Very, very, it's like even simpler than simple. The Alkain says, Rabbi Nachman, Kol dover shebekdusha she'adam tzarich lasos, any inyan of kedusha that a person wants to do, Kagon, for example, l'nsoa lahat tzaddik, to travel to a tzaddik, o shar dover shebekdusha she'adam tzarich lasos, any other dover shebekdusha a person wants to do. And I'll add, Kol shekain, when a person wants to change his entire life and enter into Avodas Hashem, which is our Torah. When a person wants to change his entire life and enter for real with his heart, with his leiv, he wants to enter into Avodas Hashem, which really means Avodas Hashem is entering into me. To explain, so says Rabbi Nachman, no moment cheshek. You need to put in a very strong cheshek. You need a very strong desire in order to create any action, especially a big action. The more desire you have, the more actions, the more dibur you can come out with. The Iker Gadol says, Iker Gadol ha-cheshek nasa. How do you create cheshek? How do you create desire for something? So simple, you'd think. I want. Very simple. But we've all wanted things in our life. A person wants to go on a diet. A person wants to play an instrument. Right? If you've ever tried to play an instrument and you've actually tried, it's not simple. You have to be ready to put in hundreds and thousands of hours, day after day after day, lessons, money, time, making mistakes, and then you need a lot of time. So you need a tremendous cheshek, a tremendous desire to do something like that. But where does that come from? It has to come from somewhere very strong. So you want to know where it comes from? Where's the ratzon? The person wants to enter into Vodas Hashem. Where does he get that cheshek? Ayidei hamaniyos shemazamno a chiddush. It's dafka through the obstacles that seem to push you back. That's where the cheshek comes from. How do you understand that? So what do you want to say? How do you understand that? That because a person wants it pushes a person to have to overcome. What do you mean? How do you explain? I want to hear what you say.
It's hard. The drives and the challenge. There's something very fulfilling about working and accomplishing, as opposed to
getting spoon fed.
Absolutely. I don't know if we really discussed that.
On Derek Hashem created the world. That has to be. You have to work, otherwise.
Not the chsufa. It's the birth of embarrassment. So you're saying it's only that you have to it's just the work itself.
Hashem created a being that have to, in order to get it, you have to work. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. You got it.
This is true. This is true. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to create a tremendous desire. It's not set on my head exactly right this second, but the pshat is that when a person wants, what's going to continue to fuel his cheshek is that when a person has an obstacle in the way, right? You're driving along the road. So you're driving a nice 35 miles an hour, and you become complacent. You put it on cruise control. Right? The person is going to drive for a long time straight, and you're going the same distance, at the same speed. It's on cruise control. We call that complacency. But complacency can get knocked out very simply by other desires or other things that are coming in the way. You have a rock in the road, and you're going along the road, 35 miles an hour on cruise control. You're not really paying attention. Pop tire. What a person has to do is that when you are going on the road and the rocks in the road, you have to learn to what? You get hit by it and you get knocked out, or you go over. You learn how to go over, which builds your lesson. I mean, HaKadosh Baruch Hu built the world in such a way that the Minias are like, they help us build mountains. We need bigger desires to continue a process that's going to go for, we want to play an instrument. So it's very difficult to have a ratzon continuously for a year. It takes 5, 6, 7 years. So he needs us to overcome certain obstacles and then feel the geschmack of overcoming that obstacle that continues to fuel our desire to continue.
What about the person who is naturally born with a certain talent? You may not feel it as the person who decided to work with it. Without that talent. Yeah.
What?
They don't have to work.
Okay, so that's not as much of them. We're talking about a person who has to have a cheshek to get in something. If it's natural, then maybe that's not what we're talking about. So Menachem says it's dafka through, that's what Menachem is telling you. It's dafka through manias that helps a person build his cheshek. When a yid wants to do something that he needs for his yadus, especially entering into Avodas Hashem, I can't read it here. Specifically, when a person wants to do something that's very big for his yadus, for his Yiddishkeit, Shekol Yahadu, so Talib was it, something that his entire Yiddishkeit is dependent on, which our Torah, entering into Avodas Hashem, there's nothing bigger that your Yadus could be tolerant on, dependent on. Kigon, and he gives an example, Kigon in Sol, at Tzaddik Emes. When you want to travel to a Tzaddik Emes, Azai Mazminim Lo Miniyah, Hashem sends specifically to in his path, miniyas, obstacles. V'zos ha-miniyah ki b'shvil ha-cheshek. The miniyah is because of the cheshek. It's to build your cheshek. Hashem says, I see that you want to do something. So I'm going to help you out. I'm going to send you miniyah. In order that we climb over that miniyah. Every miniyah we translate, we change the translation. In Torah Mem Vav, we change the translation that means miniyah. Everybody translates miniyah as obstacle. The answer is no. Miniyah means opportunity for growth. That's really the translation.
You have to live in that.
That's in their mindset. You have to learn the Torah. Otherwise, you're looking at an obstacle. But once you learn of an obstacle, and he tells you every miniyah is just an outer covering, it's a revush of Hashem himself. Hashem's hiding himself, coming to be Purim. So Hashem puts on a mask. It's called miniyah. So something to keep me away or something to get me close? It's not good. Hashem never wants us to be far from him. That's Hashem. It's just his way of pushing us to make us strong. When you're working out, you have to put on heavy weights in order to build bigger muscles. If I do very little light weights, I'll never build anything. It's the way Hashem created the world. But the bigger you want, the more cheshek you want, the more pressure has to come against you in order to overcome that. That's the way it goes. Kidei says, the bigger the miniyah, the bigger the cheshek that I have afterwards. Through that miniyah that pushes a person off, he has to overpower that miniyah with his cheshek. That's the way you build cheshek. It's building muscles. Working out for your cheshek. Kamala mashal, and I'll give us a mashal. Simple mishalim that are beautiful. When you show a little child something that he wants, a candy or a toy, you show it to the kid for 1 second and then you quickly put it on your back. The kid's going to run after you 10 times more to find out where is it? And you show him a little bit. And then this child seeks it out and he has more of a desire for that candy now that he saw. When a person enters into Avodas Hashem, sometimes what happens, into any union, sometimes HaKadosh Baruch Hu, let's step back. Why does a person sometimes want to enter into Avodas Hashem? Or every union, he wants to work on medias, he wants to learn more, he wants to daven more, because he got an inspiration from above. That, it's time for me to learn a little bit. So he got inspired and he's feeling really good. And one day he sits down and he says, wow, this is amazing. He learns for 1 day, 2 days. But then the third day kicks in and then he can't let go. And then it's very hard for him. His head's not working. He doesn't understand. He's talking that he doesn't have that same inspiration. This inspiration, you should just know, inspiration comes and it goes. Inspiration is not something that's a kavias, that's steady. It comes and it goes. Inspiration is very good, but you cannot become totally dependent on inspirational schmoozing or stories, because it doesn't last. So a person becomes inspired, and he starts to enter into some sort of Avodas Hashem. And Hashem gave him that aliyah, we call it mochin tegadlus. His mind expands and he starts to see things in a way that he never saw before. And he says, this is the way I have to go. But then Hashem takes it away. Because really, that's not his level. He's not holding there yet. But Hashem wants him to be at the level. That's the next level for this person. So Hashem has to take away, he has to throw the kid in the water. And for the first second, it seems all great that he's swimming, it's beautiful. But then he realizes this is not the ground. He starts to fall into the water. He starts flapping around and doing the doggy from the paddle, whatever he's doing. And he looks like he's not drowned, but he's struggling. And the father starts to take steps back. So the kid says to the father, what are you doing? I need your help now. The father says, no, you have to learn on your own. You have to learn this on your own. You have to overcome this struggle in order to become the best swimmer you could be. If I would always hold your hand, it's not going to work. So at the beginning, the father holds the hand. Maybe he holds him in the water a little bit, and then eventually lets him go. He has to let him go. It's the same thing with Avram Avinu, that we were talking about before, that a person has to have that struggle to want to enter into Avodas Hashem, to find God himself, to find his God, or else he's going to be handicapped. He's always going to need someone to hold his hand. And if he's in school and he's learning, great. Once he's out of school, so then what? And you don't have that hand to hold you. So no, sometimes you have to throw the kid into the water. Let him struggle, because that's how he'll overcome. And he'll be able to learn to swim by himself. The person wants to enter into Avodas Hashem. So Hashem holds his hand a little bit and then says, listen, I know be'emes, Yirmey, I know that you want to be an Eved Hashem and you want to be able to walk on your own. Like Avram Avinu, the Chazal say, that Avram Avinu was so strong he was able to walk on his own next to God. And he was very strong in his Avodah Hashem and in his Emunah. Hashem says, I know you want to walk on your own. So now I'm going to have to let my hand go. That same inspiration I gave you, which was from me, and it started you on this path, and now I have to leave that inspiration. Know that you can walk on your own and inspire yourself. That's the way it works. That's what builds cheshek. The main cheshek comes when the Father or Hashem hides that toy or that madrig. Because then I always want it more. Hashem gives you a certain inspirational davening. One time you're flying, you're dancing, you feel the words enter into you. Every word's like fire. And the next day, you think it's going to happen again. Does it happen? But you remember that davening for the rest of your life. And you always forever want them to come back to that davening. You run after. Now, you need a whole Torah about not to be miyayish when you can't do it. There's a lot of Torah you need to learn about that. But a person should always know that when the madrigas get hidden, or when a person wants to enter into Avodas Hashem, and it looks like it's Hashem's preventing it, it's not. It's only to make you stronger. It's only to bring you closer. There's much more in this Torah in Samach Vav. You can look in yourself in Os Dalet. Samach Vav Os Dalet. You can look there. He continues a little bit, but we're going to continue back with our Torah. So says Rabbi Nachman in the third line here. Vitzarach, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Says Rabbi Nachman, Vitzarach is chazkus godul ma'od ma'od v'lipo. A person needs to strengthen himself very strong so he doesn't fall. Because again, Hashem does make it appear that he's far. Hashem does make it appear that he's pushing you away. But that's not the goal. The goal is to bring you closer. So if a person is weak-hearted, he's going to give up. Oh, Hashem doesn't want me, so I don't want him. That's how most people do. Oh, today was not a good day learning? I don't know. What do I need this for? That's the chalal not of Hashem. And that shows that you never really had a ratzon. That shows you never really had a desire in the first place to enter into Avodas Hashem. It wasn't really from the heart. It was from the head. It was for taiva, it was for gaiva, it was for kavod, whatever it was for. But a person who the emes wants to enter into Avodas Hashem, so Hashem says, prove it. I'm giving you an opportunity to prove your cheshek and to grow your cheshek by putting obstacles in your way. Show me, says Hashem. Show me what you really mean. Show me what you're made of. When a person sees for many days and many years, he's trying very hard. He's trying very hard in all areas of Avodas Hashem. He's struggling. He's trying. The emes wants, but he's still very far. And he sees that he has not even entered into the gates of kedusha. He has to strengthen himself because otherwise he's going to fall. But that's not what Kodesh Baruch Hu wants, and Baruch Hashem to teach us. Stay strong. I like to tell people, the main thing is go weiter. Just keep going. You had a bad day? Go weiter. You had a good day? Go weiter. There's never a different answer. Just go weiter. You have a problem? Okay, go weiter. Don't worry. Go weiter. That's the key. I always live with that. Just go weiter. I make a mistake? No, go weiter. I said something wrong. I did something wrong. I thought something wrong. Go weiter. problem is we dray around, we hang out in those places that we make mistakes, and that's we get sucked into that place. It's like a black hole. No, just go right there. Don't look at it. Kiro atzma shumali yadayim. It looks like what? We feel the avius, thickness, gashmias. It appears to me that I'm thick and I'm full of gashmias, hurim, and I'm all confused. It looks so confusing. And anything that I want to do, any devish of kedusha, I'm trying. Davening, learning, tefillin, mezuzah, tzitzis, hadlakas neirus, whatever other halachos I'm trying to keep, whatever I'm trying to do in Avodas Hashem, it's just not going. It's very hard. It's very hard for a person who wants something so bad and it's not working. It says, no, every second that you feel like you're getting pushed back, and you say, Adarabah, on the contrary, I'm going to step up my game. I'm going to continue going. You just raise your level of cheshek 5, 10, 20, 30. Every single time Hashem says no, and you say yes, you're getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and you're bench pressing more weight and more weight and more weight. You're building more muscle, more muscle. That's what you have to do. But this person who's stuck in this way, and it appears to him, again, it appears to him that Hashem is not looking at him at all. On the contrary, I'm not been saying. Hashem's looking at this person even more than anybody else. But it looks like to me Hashem's not looking at me because he's not letting me enter in. If they go to club of avodah, so Hashem doesn't want my avodah, he doesn't want my service. I'm crying out to him. I'm crying out to Hashem, help me, please help me. I'm davening, I'm crying. But I still don't feel so close. Which most times, Agav, is a person has entered tremendously into Avodas Hashem, but he wants to be at a higher level than he's at. That's a trick. That's a trick of, it's also a gaiva trick. Really, the person is now able to learn much better and daven much better than when he started a year ago. But because he really wants to be at level 10, and now he's only at level 5, so he's feel like he hasn't done anything. And really, he started at level 1, now he's on level 5. That's a 500% increase. Because he has expectations of being at level 10, that's what nidmelo. It appears to him he hasn't done it, which generally is not the case.
Well, you have those people who have a good mindset, and they're especially going to do this for, and done for. You know, so you have those people in that category as well.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. Al-Kain, nidmelo kilu in Hashem Yisbarach Mustakel of Klal. It appears to me that Hashem's not looking at me at all. Vein ponal of Klal, he's not paying attention to me. Kihu Yisbarach ein lo tzabo Klal. Looks like Hashem doesn't want me at all. Minutes here. Let's just finish 3 more lines. All these types of thoughts. Sorach is chazkas godel. The person needs to be very, very strong. To strengthen himself again and again. Don't even look at this. Go weiter. Any negative thought is a klal godel. Any negative thought is wrong. If it's a thought that you're doing something wrong, but it's positive, like I could do better, okay. If something's negative, Hashem's not paying attention to me. I'm so bad. It's wrong. Like we said in another share, negativity is like a nega. It's like tzaras. It's like speaking lashon hara about yourself. Negativity is speaking lashon about yourself, or speaking lashon hara about Chas Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This situation doesn't look good. It's a negative situation. Hashem sends negative situations. I don't know. In my rule book of Emunah, every situation is the best. But if I look at it in a way that looks negative, so that I'm speaking lashon hara about Emunah Hashem. So no negativity. Don't look at it all. Just go weiter. Ki be'emes kol is rachakus. The emes is Nachman. In God's eyes, all things that look like you're getting pushed away, it's all getting close. So we're holding by Parsha Zachor this week, holding by Purim. This is this Torah right now that we're learning about the suffix, the doubts of a person is all a mop. It's a mop. Klal Yisrael is leaving Mitzrayim. They're ready to become a nation. They're ready to enter into Avodas Hashem. When a klal, when a nation wants to enter into Avodas Hashem, what happens? Who comes to attack us? Every single time, Amalek. This is the Torah of Amalek. Amalek is always trying to cut our legs down, to destroy our Ratzon, and allow what happened. What did Chazal say? That we're on fire. Klal is on fire when they left Mitzrayim. Nobody can stop them. And Amalek jumps in and cools off that bath. What happens? Every other klipa, every other nation can jump in. When Amalek gets you, when a person wants to enter into Avodas Hashem, and Amalek enters in a little bit of a doubt, maybe Hashem's not paying attention to me. When that doubt sets in, what else comes in? Mitzrayim comes in, Taiva, Paras Madai comes in, Bavel comes in, all the Arbagolas, all the exiles, all the nations that want to destroy us, all the Taivas, all the covers, all the kinna problems that we have. When you have a doubt, all that enters in. When a person's strong in his Amunus Hashem, and he doesn't let anything get in his way, nothing can stop him. When he's chazak, when he's strong, when his heart is strong, and me and God, we're one, we're best friends, Hashem's got my back, and nothing can stop this person. The doubt a person has is what opens up the door for all these things to come in. Klal Yisrael said, they're in the Midbar, a few days in, and what do they say? Hayesh Hashem in Bikir Beinu Amayim. Is Hashem with us or not? Right, there struggles with water. Was there water? Was there not water? So the people had the audacity to say, is Hashem within us or not? Next pasuk, Vayavo Amalek, because that Amalek is doubt. When a person has a doubt, all the bad things in the world come in. When a person wants to grow, can't have any doubts. This is the hardest of all. The avodah sheba, the service of Hashem, is to not have any doubts. The Menachem teach, nobody has taught us more than the Menachem. The world is a narrow bridge, but Ikers, don't be scared. Just go weiter. Don't look down. Don't look right. Don't look up. Just go. Just go. You know this is the MS. You know you have to get to the other side of the bridge. So just go. Pasuk says, Zochar Sashelacha Amalek. Remember what Amalek did to you. Baderech. When you're on the derech, the Avodas Hashem, that's when Amalek comes. Remember that. That's Pasha Zochar. And we're all listening to Pasha Zochar, which are mitzvah d'oraisa. Remember, that's what Amalek wants to do to us. We have to destroy Amalek. Destroy those doubts within us that stop us from being the people we want to be. And being the Ovdei Hashem we want to be. Remember what they did to you on the way. Asher karcha baderech. They cooled off your derech. The way of Avodas Hashem, the derech Eitz Chaim, that way back to the Eitz Chaim, they cooled it off. And when it gets cooled off, when you're not on fire, so in every doubt in the world, every miniyah, every taiva, every kinna, every kavod, every person who says not a nice word to you, totally throws you off in the Hashem to destroy Amalek, to destroy the doubts within us, to enter into Avodas Hashem with our heart, with our minds, and with our heart. And for Zoche, to Fred and Purim, and a good Shabbos.